Bud, you're feeling pretty awful, aren't you?
On this episode...
Having a really high temperature like this is really risky because basically it could cook their brain.
He's my best friend. You know, he never lets you down.
This has actually turned into a medical mystery.
It could be very sad for Bodhi, but we'll find out. This is the only way we'll know.
I'm just going to grab a towel and we're going to put it here and we're going to put her on oxygen straight away.
She wasn't breathing on the lamp. I thought she was gone.
We're actually going to put this directly into an abdominal cavity here. They've done extremely well to get Bunny here as quickly as they did. I just hope they've got her here on time.
But first...
Can you just explain what's happened?
Heard the dogs barking and my dogs attacked him.
The concern is with a dog fight, then they can suffer some spinal injuries there. Aaron's living out a nightmare right now. This is a fight within his own family of dogs. The concern I've got is this area here. Inside, he must just be going through the worst of emotional turmoil. I'm Chris. Do you know? Aaron. Who's this?
This is Tosca.
Tosca. Okay. Can you just explain what's happened?
Mate, I was upstairs at the house and I heard the dogs barking.
Yep.
And when I got out there, he was in the corner and my dogs attacked him. You know, he's breathing and stuff. He hears his name and stuff, but he's...
You didn't see him being shaken or...?
No, I didn't see anything. By the time I got off there, my dog was off him.
What are the other dogs? What sort of dogs?
It's a bull terrier.
They ever fought before?
No, he's always growling at him and having goes at him, but he's always backing off. He's never done it before, no.
Okay. Yeah, can we get some oxygen? How old's Tosca?
He's probably about 12.
Okay. Okay, he's got a very high heart rate. Has he got a heart murmur already? Do you know?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't know. He's my partner's dog.
Okay. Yeah, he's got an interesting sounding heartbeat there. And his heart sounds are actually radiating around his chest, so he could either have some bruising in those lungs or even a pneumothorax, even a torn lung lobe. Okay. What we might do is just give him something for the shock straight away, just to make him feel more comfortable, and also limit any blood loss that he might suffer from. So the plan is we're just going to give him some intravenous fluids now, put a catheter in his vein, give him some drugs to take away the pain, also the shock, just get his whole system essentially functioning. Because right now he's in a bit of a shutdown mode, which is, in a way, it's a defence mechanism for him, but at the same time it's not getting the blood around his body that he really needs right now. Getting the weight out of you, Tosca. Come on, just keep calm there, mate. So is there a bit of a power struggle going on in the house at the moment? Is that?
Well, Tosca's just a grumpy fella.
Yeah.
And he's the second smallest dog in the house out of 5 dogs at the moment.
We're just going to let that sit there and get some oxygen into him while we give him these drugs.
She's going to kill me.
What, the missus?
Yeah.
Is it her dog?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're just in the stabilising stage at the moment, just trying to make him more comfortable and a little bit more pain-free.
Yeah.
So the more relaxed he is, the more easily he breathes, and the more his own system can stabilise. But I will start feeling over him in a second, just checking for any breaks or fractures or any issues. Especially, the concern is with a dog fight, if they do get picked up and shaken, then they can suffer some spinal injuries there. Okay. So he's detecting that light, he's responding to it. Just his pupils aren't constricting, they're not tightening as much as we'd probably like. So
Is that due to the shock?
it is, yeah, and just the concern is that if he has suffered some sort of head trauma as well, then those responses will be a bit dulled.
Yeah.
A hint of a bit of hemorrhage in the corner of that eye too. So it may have been where he was shaken. There was just a huge amount of saliva there. So thinking with that is that he has actually been inside the other dog's mouth to get that amount of saliva, and you don't just get that amount just from one snap and then off. They usually have to be actually inside the dog's mouth for quite a sustained period of time. And that'd explain the extreme shock too. For him to be in that situation, he probably anticipates that is it, that he's not going to make that. So their whole system just goes into shutdown. So he's got some feeling in those back legs, which is good. What it's showing is that the messages are getting from these back legs to the brain and then back again, so that's a good sign. The biggest worry with these dogfight injuries is essentially that it's not just the actual impact of the bite, it's more the shaking and the twisting that occurs after that. It's sort of like a whiplash situation where one part of the body goes in one direction, the other part goes the other. And what's left in the middle is stretched, is broken, is torn. And if that's the spinal cord, then we have big problems.
Oh, I just hope he's all right.
Just going to perform a couple of quick little tests on him before we do the x-rays. I just want to check that there's no free air between his lungs and his thoracic wall, so that would indicate a torn lung lobe. And also just check for no blood in his abdomen, which would indicate some internal bleeding. All right, so we'll just check those things. Okay, may just have a little jump here. Sorry, buddy. So he's actually has had a little tear there. So he does have a little bit of a pneumothorax. It's a bit of air that's leaking out of his lung. It's not a huge amount, but there is certainly at least 4 mils there. And the worry is that can actually get bigger over time, so we do need to keep him very calm here. Okay, we'll have to monitor that. We'll check these limbs and I guess all the other bones in a second with these x-rays. The focus, I think, has to be on this neck though. You can see that's where the saliva is, that's where it looks like he's been held in those jaws. If we just feel around here. Sorry, buddy, that's all right. Okay, so he certainly does have some neck pain there. Whether it's just soft tissue damage, just bruising to the muscles around there, or whether it's more serious, we'll find out in a second with these x-rays.
X-ray.
The lateral ones just aren't telling us quite enough. We just need a good vertical one going straight through the top of his spine there.
X-ray.
The quietest I've ever seen him.
The concern I've got is this area here from C1 to C2. So there's just a bit of a step there. It's certainly not severed, but it's an area of concern I'll just flag now, because if there are any issues later on, then that's probably where it's going to be coming from. Okay.
All right, so basically, what's next?
So next step is that I'll take him out through the other room. We're going to clip the hair off that area around the neck there just to check if there are any severe lacerations. I'll do a few little reflex checks of his neck very gently to see what sort of function, what range of movement he has in that neck. Because I'm still not convinced the neck is trouble-free at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll move him through. Aaron's living out a nightmare right now. This is a fight within his own family of dogs. Inside, he must just be going through the worst of emotional turmoil. He probably won't like it too much, but I just want to see at what stage he starts to detect pain there. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's a big groan. Okay. That's not bad for that side. So we're sore there. All right, and that's where he's really stretching this area. So it seems to be up and also to the right where he's having trouble.
Yep, okay.
It's sore, and that makes sense. He's got a lot of tissue bruising, and there's just a hint that he's just stretched the connection between two of those vertebrae in his upper neck region too. So what we might do is just clip this area here, just have a look at these wounds. 2 wounds here, there and there. And there's another little one just down here. So I'd say he's been held really by the 2 jaws across like that. And that would explain all the saliva being under here where the dog's tongue would have been. Did you want to call the missus?
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm going to have to.
From what Erin's saying, Tosca is the absolute love of his partner Christine's life. To break that sort of news to her that his dog has caused this to her dog, that's going to be tough. How'd you go?
She's pretty cranky.
Probably not the news she wanted to hear.
No. She's another Tosca. She's only a little girl, but she goes for the throat and growls and bites, and she's a pretty scary woman herself.
Little Tosca's still in a lot of shock, but his anxiety levels are nothing compared to Erin's. I've never seen a man so scared.
I think if anything had happened to him, she would have left me.
You're not joking, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I would have been scooted out the door, quick smart.
I'll just give that a bit of a flush too, just to get any bugs out of there. Obviously the bites have quite a bit of bacteria in them.
Yeah.
So incredibly lucky.
I won't be feeling very lucky when your mum gets home.
You reckon this might be mild compared to what you're going to cop?
I reckon you should see the lacerations I'm going to end up with. Getting us both in trouble now, you know?
And a bit of a reality check at you, buddy. It's interesting how these stories can sometimes evolve. Initially, I thought, poor, innocent, small dog attacked by the bigger, more dominant dog. The reality, though, Tosca's got the first bite in. Frank's just retaliated. Now, that changes things. What we have here is a big struggle for dominance, and a struggle that could be fatal unless we can sort it out. See you, Chad. How are you? I'm Chris. It's Christine, is it?
Christine, yeah.
How are you? Good to see you again, Erin. Well, I know you're desperate to see him. But just before we do that, I'll just explain what's going on. So just come through here. He's doing pretty well at the moment.
Okay.
On his x-rays, there's just one area of concern at the top of his spine, so up the top of his neck, just where things aren't, I guess, aligning as well as they should.
When he said that, oh, Tosca, something's happened to him, I was just like, look, is he alive? Is he going to live? Is it life-threatening, or is he going to have brain damage or anything?
I would have thought that if he was going to show those sort of signs, we'd be seeing them right now. And he's looking pretty good.
He's my baby. I've had him for 12 years, so.
Hey. Oh. You're alright, baby. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Baby, love you so much.
Well, he looks a lot happier than he did this morning.
He doesn't look happy at all. Look at him. He's like going, oh my God, I just want to fall asleep standing here. He's not happy at all. He's just kind of, I think
looks
he's
happier than he did
he?
when it happened. He didn't look too happy then.
I'm going through like feeling really upset to feeling grateful to feeling kind of like, oh, you little bugger, what have you done? Sorry, excuse my French. But like, I'm just going through a whole bunch of different emotions because I'm so happy that he's alive.
It'll be a good night for you then, Erin. It'll be a really good night for you. I thought one fight was enough for today. To have two presented to me, don't think I could have handled that. So to see Erin and Christine getting along for now was nice. So I thought that was going to be the most challenging case of the day. You guys rather than
Well,
this one
I've
here.
learned out when her left hook's coming. Yeah, so.
She signals it, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
she's got this little twitch in her eye.
It's pretty clear that Tosca means everything to Christine. Erin has dodged a bullet today. If this was more serious, he would have been facing a lot more serious punishment, I'm sure. All right, so he's just going to rest tonight.
Okay, excellent. Cool.
All going well, he goes home tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be amazing if I could have him home tomorrow. So that's all right. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Okay. I'll be thinking about you tonight. All right.
Hey, Tosca. looking a bit brighter this morning, buddy, aren't you? Come here. Come on. How are you feeling? What's really interesting here is that normally after a dog attack you see huge amounts of bruising. There's no bruising there, which confirms my original thought that this was a message. Frankie's just grabbed Tosca, held him down and gone, buddy, no more of that attitude. I'm the boss around here. After all the work I've done to get Tosca to this point, I don't want to risk the whole thing imploding when he goes home. So I'm going to make a bit of a house call and just see what we can do to make sure this sort of situation never happens again. Easy does it, buddy. Got to save your energy for Frankie. Come on. The reality is that next time Tosca annoys Frankie, Frankie mightn't be so gentle. You ready to see Frankie? You gonna be gentle? Is this home, Tosca?
Hey, Tosca.
Hey, buddy.
Look who's home.
Welcome home. Is he all right? It's hey.
Hey, little man.
Aw.
Look who's
Frank.
home.
Hey, Frank.
Frankie.
Frank, come here.
Frank, you got visitors.
Come here.
Sniff.
All right. Woof. Yep.
Seat. Take a seat.
Frankie does all of that whilst wagging his tail.
Yeah.
So you can see with Tosca, that's fear.
Take a seat.
Yeah.
With Frankie, it's more fun.
Except for that moment yesterday, he actually likes Tosca, and he was always trying to be his friend, but Tosca just keeps growling at him all the time.
Yeah.
So, because Frankie just then came and sniffed him, and it was like a hello.
Yeah.
And Tosca's not changed. He's still stubborn as only Tosca can be.
He still is entire, still hasn't had his balls removed.
Yeah.
Now,
Would that be a good thing to do?
that would certainly help.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I can give him in the meantime is an injection to block the effects of testosterone in his brain. So stop him from being the big guy in the small body. All right, so it's not going to seem like much, but 1 ml of this drug here should change his whole attitude.
Okay.
So in a way, what we're doing is chemically castrating him.
Okay.
Just lucky this didn't happen to you yesterday, Erin.
Yes.
Could have been you getting the injection.
Well, you've got more than a mil in there, don't you? No? No? Oh.
Steady, tiger.
Fix you while you're here. The fact is, once we remove that testosterone that's really revving Tosca up, then he's going to pull back. He's going to be more relaxed. He's going to acknowledge that Frankie is the boss. Once there's stability there, Christine and Erin have their happy family back together. There's a lot of love there. We've just got to make it work. And this will make it work.
You better, oh yes. I love you too. I do, I love you too. You happy to be home?
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Erin.
Thank you so much for everything.
Pleasure. No more growling. Talk to you, Kristen.
No.
He's very warm. I'll just go and quickly let Lisa know his temp's 41.
Yeah.
And we'll probably get a move on.
Okay, good idea. Bodhi's only 4. Loves kids, gentle as a kitten. Yeah, likes to go for runs. I'm always worried because he's my best friend. You know, he never lets you down. You know, people let you down, but dogs don't.
Bodhi.
Great idea.
Hello, I'm Lisa.
I'm Michael.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
You too. Sorry, I'm a bit dirty.
That's all right. Hey, Bodhi. What's going on with him?
I got home from work today and my wife said, yeah, he's outside under the trampoline. And when he got up, he fell over.
Bodhi's very lethargic. He's gone downhill quite quickly in the last couple of days and Michael's extremely worried because he actually collapsed this evening.
Can he walk?
A little bit, but he's not sort of too keen on it.
Yeah,
I've never seen him like this.
He looks pretty flat. That's a boy. He's pretty slow and staggery. And he hasn't eaten anything since Saturday.
No.
Okay.
A fever can be caused by a whole lot of different things. I mean, there's countless diseases that can make the body temperature go up. Right now, we need to run some extra tests to work out why this is happening to Bodhi. They may or may not give us any answers, but we need to do them as soon as possible to get to the bottom of this.
Okay, so I'm going to take him out the back. We're going to start to cool him down with some fans and get and drip into him so that we can try and cool him down from the inside as well. Okay. So we'll just check what his temperature is now. Good boy.
41.5.
41.5. Okay. So temperature of 41.5 is climbing up to a dangerous temperature. So let's get some wet towels and the fan and start to cool him down. Having a really high temperature like this is really risky because basically it could cook their brain. So we really need to cool him down as soon as possible because if it climbs any higher, that's going to be life-threatening. Hey bud, you're feeling pretty awful, aren't you? We've got to get him on IV fluids and run some blood tests to try and work out what is going on here. He's in a really critical state and we have to get to the bottom of this now. What I'm going to do now is collect blood for a culture because what we're trying to see is if there's any bacteria living in his bloodstream. It's abnormal to have bacteria in your bloodstream, and if he does, it means he's septic and he could die from that, but that would tell us a whole lot as to why he's feeling like this. These results are a little bit worrying because it's actually showing me that his white blood cell count is extremely low. He actually hasn't got enough white blood cells in his bloodstream. You need white blood cells to fight infection. If you can't fight infection, you can become septic and die. This is actually a lot more serious than I thought. Bodhi's looking terrible. His blood results are pretty awful and I still don't know why it's actually happening. That's a boy, Bodhi. 700 milligrams of ampicillin, if you can run that in IV now. His temperature has come down 1 degree, but it can spike up during the night and we need to keep a close eye on that because if it does, he's at risk of brain damage. Hey, Bodhi. Hey. How are you feeling? We're going to do an ultrasound on you today. Try to work out what's going on. Let's go, buddy. That's the way. Good boy, Bodhi. It's all right. The next step is going to be to do an abdominal ultrasound. So we're going to try and have a look inside his abdomen to see if that's where the problem is. Bodhi.
1, 2, 3. It's all right, sweetie.
Man.
It's all right. It's all right. I know.
All right, darling. It's okay. Good boy. He's petrified. Poor boy.
He's a bit scared, isn't he?
Unfortunately, the ultrasound hasn't given us any more clues. It's really frustrating because I was hoping that it would give me some miraculous answer, but unfortunately, there's nothing there.
Dad's coming in to visit you.
The next step is to do a bone marrow aspirate. So we need to actually drill into his bone to take a sample out from the inside. I'm really, really hoping that that's going to give us some answers because it's the waiting game that hurts us all. It's not knowing what his outcome is that makes it really difficult. It's a risky procedure, and so Michael's going to come in and see him before that because who knows what can happen. Want to hop up? Yeah, come. Come on. Oh, that's a boy. Not too fast. Not too fast. You know that Dad's here, don't you?
Hi.
Hey, look at that.
Hi.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Lisa. How
He's
are
a lot
you?
stronger today.
Oh, is he?
I mean,
Hi, buddy.
I don't want to give you false hope, but he jumped out of the cage pretty much.
You've been a brave boy, haven't you?
It's gut-wrenching because, you know, you just don't know if you're going to see him again.
So yeah, I'm coming back every day to see how you are.
You're in a war. If it was up to me, I would just turn my back and walk away from the war with him. But obviously, you know, the war's come to find us and we're just going to go head on and try and beat it.
I'll see you tomorrow. Good boy, you've done really well.
And it was absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, the poor man is devastated. I know, he's coming back. He's coming back, Bodhi. Let's go. Come on, darling. He's just hopeful. He still remains positive, which is what we need him to do because that's all we've got at this stage is hope. sweetie, you're a big boy. You're not fitting on the table very well. Some oxygen for you. I know, it's a funny feeling. You're a good boy. Bodhi's just been fantastic through all of this. I mean, his temperament is pretty amazing, and he's been poked and prodded and has still wanted to give us cuddles, so he's just a lovely dog. Sleepy sleeps.
Poor little dog. I'm just going to gently feel for the top of the bone. So I suppose what we really need to know is if Bodhi's got cancer or an autoimmune disease. Neither of them are very good. I mean, I suppose we've got some chance of treatment with certain autoimmune diseases, but most of them are pretty serious and they don't actually respond well to treatment. So it could be very sad for Bodhi, but we'll find out. This is the only way we'll know.
Oh, sweetie pie. We're gonna get you better. So we've just got the aspirate results back now, and it's really bizarre. The pathologist actually had to get 3 opinions on it, and it's come back as basically a bone marrow shutdown. Now, it's ruled out cancer, which is really good, but this has actually turned into a medical mystery. Bodhi's critical, he's having a plasma transfusion as we speak, and we still don't know why this is happening because time is running out. We don't have many treatment options for Bodhi, but we're going to try something new. It's a drug called GCSF, and what it does is it tries to stimulate the bone marrow to produce white cells. Dad's here. It's pretty new and it's quite expensive, and we don't know if it's going to work, but we really don't have many options here, and we've got to try whatever we can.
He's so glad to see you. And you, Bodhi. He loves that, doesn't he, Jasper?
Yeah. When we first got him with his floppy ear, it was funny because whenever he ran around, the ear went up and down.
What are you telling Jasper?
What was it? What happened? What happened?
If only love could cure them, it would make the world a better place. I mean, the relationship they have is just so special.
Bodhi. He's probably at the top of my friends list.
This is good. I've just got Bodhi's blood results back, and it shows that his white cell count has started to come up a little bit. So it was 0 on the first day, and now it's 1.4, and I need it to get up above 3. So he's halfway there. He's making great progress. I'm just so excited to go tell Michael.
Here we go. Here we go. We're going to find out if you're better.
So I've got some good news.
Better, do you? Oh, God. It's good?
It's good.
Okay.
We're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but it's good.
Yeah.
His neutrophils, which is a type of white cell, they've come up to 1.4, which is excellent. It was 0 before. And we need it to get above 3. So he's halfway there.
Halfway there already?
Yeah. So hopefully...
Oh, thank you so much. You've done so well.
So hopefully by the end of the week, he will be able to go home, but we won't get ahead of ourselves.
Oh my God, that's fantastic news.
We'd never give up on you, will we?
No. This is the best news ever, isn't it?
I think this is an absolute miracle. To think that this dog was on his deathbed a week ago. Oh, I don't like to say that I have favourite patients, but he's definitely one of the special ones. I feel so small next to him. He's just got a spirit. He's a fighter.
Good boy, yeah.
You are a good boy.
We're getting Bodhi. Come on, we're getting Bodhi.
Yeah, and we gotta be quiet.
You got to be quiet because he's not well.
Oh my God, look at him.
I know. He's looking so good, isn't he?
He is. He knew he was coming home because I opened the cage and he was trying to push past me. As soon as I put the lead on, he was pulling me down the corridor. He knew today's the day.
This looks like his old self again.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, I've got such mixed emotions now because I'm so happy with how well he's doing. I really thought he was going to die, so we have to be grateful for that. But we still don't know what caused this, and we still know that he can relapse, and that we just have to go step by step, day by day.
Run, Bodhi, run. Oh, no, he's got it. Bodhi, do you like being at home? Yes. Do you want to go back to hospital? No.
The great thing was that Bodhi went home and he had 3 wonderful weeks with his family.
Good boy, Bodhi.
And unfortunately, our big boy had a relapse, and despite doing everything we could, he didn't make it. And it's just the toughest part of the job because, especially when it happens to the ones that, you know, really touch your heart. I'll never forget Bodhi.
Come straight through.
You just got home? Yeah, and I went out the back and she was on the veranda, just very laboured breathing, and I think she's overheated. She was very hot.
Yeah.
I've cooled her down. I put her in the pool, and that sort of helped a bit. I sprayed some water on her.
Okay. Bunny's been rushed in, and straight away I can see that her breathing is extremely fast. But when I touch her, that's the most dramatic thing. She's scaldingly hot.
Where did she spend today? Just in the backyard. She lives in the backyard, and then she comes in overnight and gets in her cage.
Whenever I feel an animal that is that hot, immediately I've got to think heat stroke. I'm just going to grab a towel and we're going to put it here. We're going to put it on oxygen straight away. A lot of animals do it tough with the heat, but rabbits find it especially hard simply because they can't pant like dogs do. They can't sweat like we do. The only way they can cool themselves down is through breathing a little bit more quickly and also trying to lose a bit of heat through their big ears. That's all they have, and often it's not enough.
It was a real shock. It's usually just sitting out there, just taking in, you know, she sits near the pool and just looks around, then when it gets darker she decides to come inside, and to see her laying there like that was just terrible. And she wasn't breathing on the way up. I was squeezing her chest and that, and I thought she was gone.
Okay, what I'm going to do is give her some fluids straight away just to try to increase her blood pressure and also just try to cool her down from the inside out.
Yeah.
All right, so we're actually going to put this directly into an abdominal cavity here. Right. It's just a good way to get the fluids into her quickly. The trick with this when they are overheated is to not try to cool them down too quickly. So if you do that, they actually start shivering, and shivering actually produces heat. So it can actually go the wrong way. They've done extremely well to get Bunny here as quickly as they did. I just hope they've got her here on time.
Come on, little bun.
Well, she's still breathing pretty rapidly there, so what I'm going to do is get some cool fluid. We're going to hit a few target areas. Certainly we need to cool her down through her skin, but they lose a lot of heat through their ears and also through their extremities and also the belly, so we're just going to wet those areas and just rely on a bit of evaporation to try to cool those down. Okay.
Hang in there, then.
Bunny right now isn't good. You can see that she's breathing extremely rapidly, and that's her desperate attempt to try to get cool air in and cool herself down from the inside. Alright, just got some cold water here. I'm just going to spray these ears. You can see there's blood vessels in the ears running down there. So that's what we're trying to target here, because there's a really good blood supply to those ears. And if we can just cool the blood going through those ears, then you actually cool down all the Bunny.
She's a real character, you know.
She is.
A lot of people think, a rabbit, what do you want a rabbit for? You know, have a dog or something. But when you realise they've all got a different personality, and she's a real little character, this one.
I've got no doubt how much Bunny means to Brian and Sandra. But you look at Brian, I see a lot of people crying in this job, But when a grown man like Brian starts tearing up, he can't even bear the thought of not having her around.
She likes getting her forehead rubbed, and then she gives you a bit of a lick when you stop, and you've got to do it again. So
that heart rate's easing off a little, is it? It's just falling back a little bit lower, which is what we're after. We're just looking for signs that she's relaxing and she's more able to just get control of her body again.
Right.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, we're dropping down. Okay, we're down to the low 36s, so that's good. That's where we want to be. So this is what I was saying. They heat up very quickly, but you can cool them down very quickly, and that's what we've managed to do.
Right. Okay.
So just to provide a bit of a pick-me-up for her.
Yeah, she's looking better.
It's been a fair old battle, but now Bunny's temperature is coming down to a healthy range. For me though, the sign that I love seeing is when her nose starts twitching again. That tells me she's coming back. This has been a crazy 20, 30 minutes, but it's Bunnies to a T. When something happens with them, it happens quickly and it's over quickly.
When I rub this eye, she pulls the ear forward, and when I do this one, usually it comes right up forward. So that's a bit of a response that she likes that.
That's the measure of her health, isn't it? How much the ear comes forward. A little gauge.
That's it.
Yeah? Well, I can't let her go home looking like that, so I'll get her looking good.
Thank you.
That's Bunny's really sprung back to life beautifully, so she should be fine. She's able to go home with the family, have a cool drink, she'll be happy.
Thank you.
Thank you, no worries at all.
See you later.
My pleasure.
Thanks. Chris has done a great job, and
Really fantastic.
when she all fluffs up, she looks like a different bunny. She's beautiful.
She's very pretty.
Yeah.